Hey, so this is Unit 6, Lesson 2, homework. So this will be a continuation, meaning we are going to start where we left off from last week's homework and work on some functions, which are actually quite easy. They can get very difficult, but these ones are not too difficult. So let's take a look. The first function is return x multiplied by 3 minus 2. So if we put in 4, we're just going to use the formula. So we have 4 times 3, which is equal to 12. And then we're going to do 12 minus 2, which is equal to 10. Now, in previous lessons, I've done everything for you, and I've actually just given you the answers straight away. But in this lesson, I want you to work these out for yourself because, well, they're not too difficult, right? I'm going to go through some more difficult concepts with you. For example, square. You might not have learned what square is yet. When we square something, we just times the number by itself. So 2 times 2 is 4. If we were to square the number 4, we would just do 4 times 4, which is equal to 16. And square is signified by this small number right here. You might have seen this. This is what a square number is. And all this means is to times a number by itself. So the next thing we're going to do is take a look at question. Actually, I think all of these questions are quite easy. Now, this is the same as this. So a slash is basically division, okay? I don't know why I wrote that twice, but I did. Okay, wonderful. So if we do x divided by 2, so we're basically saying divide by 2 and then plus 3. So if we put in 100, we would divide that by 2, which equals 50. Okay, and then we plus 3, which is equal to 53. Now, I want you to do that for these here, okay? Or for this 8 here, which shouldn't be too difficult. It's actually quite easy. Yeah, it should be very, very easy actually. Okay, good. So the next thing is going to be, let's take a look at what we're going to do. Okay, these ones are quite easy too. Okay, so this is where it can get a little bit tricky. So we have here 2 arguments. We have x, we have y. So this will be x, this will be y, x, y, x, y. So all we're doing is x plus y. So for example, if we had an input of 15 and 20, we would do 15 plus 20, which is equal to 35. Super easy, right? Great. And we do the same thing here, but this time we are timesing the numbers. And here is a little bit different. Question 3. This one's also pretty easy. We're just going to return name, which is going to be equal to Amy, Sam, or Leo, and then add some exclamation mark. So this just shows you that we don't have to use numbers for functions. We can use pretty much anything that you can apply a process to make something else, you can use a function for, which is why we used it in our Minecraft lesson too. Good. The next thing is going to be to make your own function. So make a function that adds 100 to any number. Make a function that says good night with a person's name. Make a function that takes a number and cuts it in half. Now, if you're really stuck, right, and you shouldn't be stuck, but if you're really stuck, you can take a look at the previous examples and you should be able to figure out how to do part 3, right? It shouldn't be too difficult at all, okay? And in fact, this gives you a big clue to question 2 right there. And question 1 is quite easy, so we're just going to have x, which is going to be equal to any number, and then inside the function we're going to say x plus 100, which is going to be the constant number that we add to the x value or to any number. Good. Now, part 4, match the function to the answer. Okay, this is going to be pretty easy too. So if we put in 3, we times it by 2. Okay, 6. This will be quite easy. This will be quite easy too. Now, add 5. This is also quite easy. This will be 7, and you can work out the rest. Minus 3, 6, and these are quite easy, right? So you can see this homework isn't difficult at all. If you could do last week's homework, you can certainly do this week's homework. So I hope that's clear. I hope that's easy to understand. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help, and I'll see you guys again in the next lesson. Goodbye.